So if you haven't already got the file that I'd like to send you, then you need to go to tinyurl.com/berrycs. Okay, tinyurl.com/berrycs. That means computer science. Press enter, and then go into the year 7 folder, and then you're going to click on this download arrow here. Convert binary is the one you want, and then we're going to just open this up. Wait for that to load. You might see at the top here a thing that says enable editing. Make sure you click that or it won't work. You might also get another one that says something like enable security app macros or something like that. Click that one as well. Make sure it works. So what we have here is an Excel spreadsheet. Now, some of it you won't be able to click on. You can only click on certain parts of the spreadsheet. So be careful when you're using this. And if you accidentally, I don't know, click and drag something, that will become an issue. So make sure you click undo at the top here if that does ever happen. So what happens here is you've got these will change automatically if you get this right. So what we want it to do is to get this value on the right here to be the same as this value on the left. Now, to do that, we will need to look at these values here and put zeros and ones in here. We can't put any other values in, just zeros and ones. So the first value we're going to look at is 128. First question, does 128 fit inside the number 2? No, it's far too big. So we're going to put a 0 there to show that we don't need 128 to be inside there. Okay. Then, does 64 fit inside the number 2? No, it doesn't. It's still too big. Then, does 32 fit inside number 2? Again, still too big. 16, same idea, too big. 8, still too big. Not quite as big, but still too big. 4 is still too big. And then 2, yeah, that's big enough. If we take 2 away from 2, we get 2. So then we can, any other values we have, we can put a 0 at the end. Okay, once I click away from here, it will show me that I got that correct because it's got a 2 here and a 2 here. Same idea with number 3, but we're just there's one thing we need to change here. So again, we go, okay, 128 is too big, 64 is too big, 32 is too big, 16 is too big, 8 is too big, 4 is too big. But when we get to 2, we go, well, 2 can fit inside 3. So we're going to put a 1 in there. But then we need to do a bit of maths. 3 minus 2 is 1. So, okay, now we have 1 left over. Okay, 1 minus 1 is 1. So that does fit inside. So again, it's correct. If I go down to one a bit further down, maybe let's say 13, 128 is still too big, 64 is still too big, 32 is still too big, 16 is still too big, but 8 fits into 13, doesn't it? So we're going to put a 1 underneath the 8 column. Okay, 13 minus 8, sorry, is 5. Okay. 5 take away 4. That works, doesn't it? So we can do that. So we're going to put a 1 in that column. 5 take away 4 is 1. So 2 is too big to fit into 1. So we're going to put a 0 in that column. And you can see over here that what we've got so far, 8 plus 4 is 12. So we only want 1 more to make it 13. So we only need to add this 1 column here. Okay. So have a go at doing that section of the worksheet of the thing, and then once all of these say correct, you'll move on to the next section. So you might want to pause the video at this point to move on to the next section, but I'll move on now anyway. So for exercise 1B, this is where you'll need to make sure that all those yellow bars at the top have gone and that you've pressed okay, and yes, it is allowed. You need to click this generate button. And this is where we've got lots of random numbers that have been generated. This works the exact same way as this section here. Just make sure you've selected these tabs at the bottom here. And again, you'll just type in some numbers just like we did before, but these numbers can be a bit bigger, so they might fit 128 into them. No, none of these ones do, but some of them might do. 64 would definitely fit into 126, and you'd have to take that away, etc., etc., until all of these are correct. Okay, so have a go at that if you're having a look at this video, and pause the video if you want before moving on to exercise 1C. Okay, so having a look at exercise 1C, we're going to need this generate button. If we click this button here, it will generate some random binary numbers for us. Now this is where you might need to do a bit of work on a piece of paper next to you. Usually in class I would ask you to get a whiteboard and pen so that you can have a go at working this out. So what you would do is write your different headings like we had in the section before. So here's an example of how I would do it if I was in class. So I would go, okay, how many headings have we got? Let's open this one up so you can see the different headings. So we've got 1, 2, 8. It's not easy to draw with a got 1, 2, 8. What? 64. 32. 16. 8. Make sure that's actually an 8. Or make this a bit bigger. And then last couple, 2, and then 1. So what you would do on this last section here, you would take these numbers, so you would write this number into this. So 0, don't forget these are randomized, so your number would be different than mine. 0, 0, 1, 0, then we've got 1, 1, 0, 1. 1, 1, 0, 1. And then what you do is any numbers that have a 1 underneath them, you add that number to it. So you ignore any numbers. So hang on, let's do this with a different color. You ignore any numbers that have a 0 under them. Ignore that one, ignore that one, ignore that one, and ignore that one. And what you would then do is add up all the numbers you've got left. So 32 plus 8 plus 4 plus 1. Okay, so that would give us 45. Okay, and if I write that into here, that should be correct, and it says correct. And you just do the same for the rest of them as well. All right, be careful though, don't click this button more than once or it will give you a brand new number and all your working out will disappear. And the same with exercise 1B. Don't click the generate button if you've already finished them all, unless you want to give yourself more of a challenge. All right, hopefully that helped you. Let me know if it didn't, if you want a bit more help, and I will speak to you later. Bye.